Greetings, Minecrafters. Nonsanity here, and welcome to another episode of OmniFactory, episode 11. Today we're going deeper into the microverse, and lots of other things. This game's starting to ramp up. So much to do, so let's get started. Alright, first things first. On the last I left you, I had just updated this. Why did I take damage dropping down? I've got flight. Oh, I took off my helmet for the opening. I had just updated this to the next coil block. Well, since then I went ahead and I was making tungsten steel. So I've used some of that to make the tungsten steel coil blocks, which opens up some additional materials, including, was it HSS? Yep, this stuff, which is tungsten steel, chrome, vanadium, and molybdenum. See, vanadium came from the vanadium magnet, just an ore that you can purchase, and the molybdenum the same way. So that was pretty easy to do. I did that almost immediately. And so I've got some of that. I'm going to go ahead and drop 2 stacks of it into my wire mill because I can then upgrade it to the next tier, which would be handy. Oh, and I've got this. I don't remember if I had it last episode and just didn't mention it. I think I forgot to mention, or I did it since last episode. I've lost track because I did 2. It's been 2 weeks since I recorded the last episode. Yes, I've now got in my baubles a wireless crafting terminal. The only thing I had to wait for to make it, let's see, was titanium. And we've had titanium for a while, and I realized, oh wait, I can make this. And, tier 4 processors, which I could also make now. Can you make tier 5? So I made that, and that requires a security terminal. You take it and you drop it in here and it comes out and then you can use it. Oh, and then you need a wireless access point, and I've put a full stack of 64 boosters in there because why not? Let's make it so that I can access it from anywhere. Is that thing done already? It is. So now, using these, yeah, you have to upgrade them to the second level of wire. There we go. And then those with a wrench. Wrenches should be about here. Yep. Gets you 16. Oh, and I can't use this thing to break these. It takes forever. But I do always have just a regular diamond pick, and that makes much shorter work of them. I should change my drill over to one of the other options, which are both faster and they do it a little bit, work with a little bit more, I think. But I will probably do that between episodes because that's not a necessary part of advancement. It's just a convenience. There we go, reformed. Max temperature 5400. That opens up some more options to us. I've been using liquid primal mana to make, is it in here? Lumium, which I could do with the last upgrade. Did not need this upgrade for that. I also made, not just tungsten steel, I needed more of that. What else? Signalum. I could make signalum with the last upgrade too. So I'm going to toss these in here. I think I've got some coils in here that don't need to be. Yeah. Those do not need to be in my main system. So I probably will never use them again. And they're not used for recipes. I am making a whole bunch more steel because I was running out of it. So this thing is just on constant steel production. But let's do the next thing I'm going to make. There is I made the first and second tier microminers, and there is a third tier that goes in here. But it's not too useful for me. tier 3. This guy. He's just tungsten carbide heavy plating, which is tungsten carbide. Everything else here is pretty straightforward. These are the reinforced mining lasers, which require some solidified argon. I'm making argon for my air cooling plant. It requires tier 3. The rest of this is straight up materials. But when you use it, if you have a gemstone sensor, which requires... I guess I could make that. I can do tier 5 now, so before I couldn't. Oh, osmium rod. I didn't have osmium, so I could not make this, so I couldn't use that. I went ahead and I made one, and I put this in here just to see what you get. But you get scheelite, which is good, and tungstate, which is good, but you know, that's it. It's just another source of titanium, not titanium, tungsten from these two. The tungstate and the scheelite gets you tungsten. Very, very slowly. So I processed what I got out of it. So I might make more, but right now I don't need more. I will in the future, I'm sure. Instead, I'm going to jump straight to 4. This guy, which needs the signalum, which we've got. And it's used for this, oops, for this as well. Signalum rods and plates. These are 2 signalum plates each. And these require nothing that I don't already have. Takes 2 of these mining lasers. So yeah, I can make it. Here, 2 of the mining lasers. And here is everything else. Tier 4. And you use the tier 4. It requires a medium microverse projector, which is a bigger sucker here. And that's what we're going to make now. And then you use it with Wither Realm data, quantum flux, and a stack of petroleum dust. And that gets you iridium and osmium. So I think a lot of things are gated behind these two. So it's good to get this going. So let's build this sucker. First, we'll put down this. I've got some. I went around and I connected all of my power systems to one main line. That way, if one section, like these guys, are not producing enough power for this stuff, anything that's idle or not being used to its fullest extent can provide some extra power. So I'm starting to centralize my power. Eventually, I'll move all the dynamos to one place. But for now, they're still located next to their stacks and so forth. But we're doing okay. I'm still... Yeah, I'm up to 119k of diamonds. So I'm positive in diamonds. Oh, and so positive in this stuff. This is probably... Yeah, this is idle. No, is it idle? It is backed up. Yeah. So that is completely full. Alright. So anyway, let's set this stuff down. Hook this up to the network. Oh, and I can give it all the capacitors, which are already charged. Alright, so we're going to need EV energy input. That goes there. The ludicrous item output, because I just might as well make it big. Machine casings. Then we have, not the machine vent, we have the machine controller go there, reinforced item input there, and then you have to make the purple space diamonds. These are blocks of diamonds, use the chisel on them. There's purple space and black space. It has to be the purple space. And then this, the quantum compressor, same thing as was in the middle of that guy. What is this used for? Oh yeah, it's compressing. I don't think we actually need to do that. We might, I don't know. I've used it in other packs. Alright, so these are our remaining materials. I can get rid of the pick. And then the ineffable glass. I'm walking inside blocks. Don't try and walk on it, though. Let's see. And then 4 vents. And this should turn gray. Yes. We've got it. Should have power, missing item input. Let's give it some inputs. It's working. Oddly enough, this one does not require the fuel. I'm going to go ahead and turn off my rocket fuel production because I'm not going to need any more. I got so much in here. It's 11,000 runs. I think the most I'll need is 10,000. So yeah, I'm going to... It's the hypochlorous, chloramine, dinitrogen. I'll just turn this one off. No longer inserting. That will back up other things. Alright, we're done. We're done. We have osmium and iridium. Excellent. Now the best way to process these is the usual way, I assume. Pulverize. Platinum. I get platinum dust. 14% chance, which increases. I'm very close to making IV machines. In fact, I think I can. I can, because I did make one. Over here. I was trying to make... Oh yeah, the signalum plates. I had to make the tier 5 circuit to make this IV machine and this IV CEF, which are just attached to the power line that's running around the whole base. Because the signalum plates that this thing uses required 8,000 EU a tick, which can only be done by this guy and above. So I can now make IV machines, which means I'm going to make a full processing system to process ores. I might want to get that together before I process these, because when you do that, the percentage of getting these extra stuff is 100%. Not that I need the platinum. What do you get with the osmium? Iridium dust. Yeah, it would be nice to have extra iridium. 100% chance of iridium. This requires the tier 5 circuits and the tier 5 stuff. Platinum cable. Yeah, so I think I can go ahead and teach it. So that, oh, no. Use this guy recipe. And go to circuits. And here's the tier 5, so I go bop, bop. I forget if I've had to program any of those other things. I guess I can put it there. Can I make one? Need more tungsten steel plates. More annealed copper wire. Another... Oh, I gotta change the... There's a wrench in there somewhere? I'll have to fix that. Diamond grinding head, I'll just make those by hand. Those need a pattern. I'm not making tons of these things. Alright, so let me get those materials together. And I will be right back. Alright, I've made the machines. I mean, this one over here is the compressor that I already had. But we've got a blendomatic, a macerator, 3 ore washers, or laundry washers in this case. We have another blendomatic, macerator, and then a molecular cyclone, which is a centrifuge. See, behind I've set down an endervore, because we're going to need some water. water is going to be piped into these guys, which I'm going to set their, wrong wrench, set their outputs to the top, but I'm still going to need the screwdriver because that's also going to be an input. I guess I'll do that to all of them here. There we go. They can still input on the back. That's fine. You start outputting water. And by attaching it to this top piece, it'll never drain the bottom. But these guys should all get their water. And it's automatically round robin. Alright, so we're going to have an input chest. So might as well put that here. Input chest here. And we're going to lay down some item conduit down to there. And I guess for now I'm just going to put the output chest there. Alright. So ore comes in here. And we're not going to use green. Avoid green. So brown input goes into this guy. And then its output is on blue. And it is round robin. It can go to this guy, or this guy. And then they have output on purple. And so purple goes in here, and he outputs on cyan. All right, now at this point, actually, this is going to make extra stuff. Maybe I'll have to do this all in the same color and use filters instead, which requires more setting up of all the what goes where. Let's try it. Let's just toss in an iridium here. Alright, it gets ground up. Yeah, so we get the stone dust and the platinum dust. That, oh, where'd they go? Did they go in the wash too? They were extracted. Yeah, they went in the wash. That's no good. Alright, so we will have to do it a different way. In fact, it would just be easier to break all these and replace them. Alright, so instead, well, this one can still go brown. But now it's going to output, let's use red for unfiltered anything. So grabbing the back, I've got some big item filters. I guess I'll need 5 of them. So you're going to get one. And, you know, actually, instead of having this same item filter 3 times, be a little bit more creative here. This will be insert on blue. And this guy will be insert. Oh wait, this guy was outputting on red. Okay. So he gets insert on red with a filter, which will be crushed ores. So let's get crushed iridium as our first sample, just so the filter has something. So only crushed iridium can go in there, and then it will output on blue into these 3. And then they, well, let's see. So he's got stone dust. Yeah, stuff already moved around. Alright, let's do one more iridium in here. Pop. Oh, just one. No. 2 is going to go in. All right, so these got nowhere to go. We'll give them somewhere to go in a moment. All right, so that's made stone dust. I'm having some network issues. I think I need to reset my router. Yeah, let me go take care of the network issues. I'll be right back. All right, I'm back from dinner. Editing. All right, so this now I think completely works. I put one of the stacks of indium in here just to check it out. So we get pumped out on brown, come in here. Then the output comes out on red. The highest priority is up here, priority 10, and this is set to just take the crushed stuff. It outputs on blue, which sends it to these three. That way one filter works for all three. They all output on red. But this guy, let's give him a priority of 2. He'll take it first if he can. But he's got a filter, so he only takes the purified. It outputs on red, and then this guy, let's give him priority 1. He takes indium. They really don't need their priorities. Let's just keep it simple. Priority is just 0. If it goes there, if it passes this filter, otherwise it goes to one of these two. Last is this one for red, and that extractor's off. This one is a negative 10 priority, so the last place something can go on red. And that's where all the final products go. So that works as an ore processing facility with the extra compressor down here. That's not part of it. So I should be able to put in the osmium too. Let's put in 1 and see what it does. It's going to send the crushed down here because it hasn't been given a destination yet. We will do that. You now know crushed. Crushed will go in here. There it goes. And now the purified will come down here because it doesn't have somewhere to go. We fix that by adding it to this one. So it'll go in here instead. And now the purified dust will come in here, and we add that to this guy. Well, go ahead and toss it in. And now osmium is part of the system. So I can dump both of these in here. Now I can just come in. This can hold a lot of the crushed. I can just go down here and anything I think I'm going to do, like I'm never going to have crushed aluminum ore. Some of the, some gold, copper, I get those from the mob farm. I don't need them. Iron, no. Lead, no. Lithium, probably not. So I get that from cobblestone. But yeah, I could put some of these in pre-fill it, or I just pre-fill it as I put new ores into the system. And they will be processed to the maximum amount. The only thing I've never really gotten a good solution for is the tiny piles. Because of the filters, we've got the limited item filter from Ender.io, but it's a small filter, and there's no big version of the limited, unfortunately. So I'd either have to have lots and lots of filters attached to all sides of a container in order to get all the tiny piles of things that the systems can create so they get processed. Because you need to have exactly 9, and if you put a little bit more, a little bit less, it jams, and now the next thing can't go in there. I tried using the robotic arms, but again, they have the same problem. Actually, their problem's even worse. I did it over here. Let me get out the wrench and go whack. No. It was the screwdriver. Whoops. Put you back. It's the screwdriver that does this. So I've attached a robot arm to the top of this guy. You can have supply exact, or you can have a filter. Supply exact, you can say, give me 9. But you can't limit what? It's going to put 9 of anything in there. But then, you know, maybe combining the two. Because once you put this in here, the supply exact gets lost. Which I wish it would stay there. And I just lost everything that was in it. But that's okay, I wasn't using it anyway. But I'm thinking maybe... The problem is, if I have a chest with stuff in it, this thing can pull from the chest directly into itself. I'm thinking of combining the two filters. Right now, I have it pumping out here and going in down here with a big filter saying these are the ones that it accepts. But of course, it's going to get jammed. Like here, it's jammed with 3 tiny borax. Now, there's nothing in the system. Oh, no, there was. There was tiny clumps, which it's turning into the wrong uranium. Let's tell it to not do tiny clumps of uranium. And it used it all up. So sort of a good thing. Oh, well, I can run this through the thermal and turn it back into the right type. Extra step, but it works. There's conflicting recipes when you use these things. If you put them together, you really want this stuff, but it gives you this stuff by default. If you go over to one of the work tables, one of these guys, you can get the right, you can select which one you want. But AE or any of the automatic systems like this guy will give you the wrong one. Hope that they take that recipe out. It's annoying. I've got lots of annealed copper. But anyway, yeah, I was thinking if I pump out only tiny clumps, and I can use a big filter to control the tiny clumps. I'm thinking out loud here. And then take out of that container only 9 of things. That way the things are always going to be tiny clumps. Yeah, that would work. I would need an extra chest as a... which I could do right here. Yeah, so let's try it here. Let's take this out, break that, get out a crate, put the crate down, and filter insert on red. No output. So now any tiny piles will go into there. What tiny piles do I got in my system to test this? Yep. Tiny. I got a couple here that I've got more than 9 of. Let's make sure they're all in the system, in the filter. Rutile, yep. Sodalite. Borax, yep. And rock salt. Got that. Okay. So these are all set. Now let's get out the crowbar and take the... can I pop it out here? Yes, good. All right. So we'll put the robot arm on that side. And need the screwdriver back to look into it. All right. We don't need this filter anymore. We'll just do transfer any... supply exact 9. Alright, this may be a solution. Let's give it a try. Toss all these in here. Oh, it got some uranium temporarily. Oh, and it has to... oh, it doesn't have a pull. What does this... ah, import. There we go. Nothing. That didn't go. This is... oh, it's extract on green. Okay, not red. Green. Okay. There they go. 9. Oh, we can still output to the top. That is... I need the wrench. Output to the top. It already is. So just have to turn the output on. Alright, that worked. And these that I don't have a full 9 of just sit there until something else comes along. Excellent. That's the way to do it. I get all the tinies out of my system and put them in this crate. And when more comes along, let's make sure that they're all programmed into it. Silver, let's see, gallium. Gallium, nickel, palladium, is that palladium? No, borax. Vanadium, magnetite, lignite, lapis, lead, copper, cadmium, manganese, oil sands, sterling silver, lithium. Did I have lithium? No. Silver, thorium, tin, banded iron, yellow garnet. Some of these I'll probably never do. Plutonium, ashes, uranium. Okay. Oh, and phosphor. So now put all these in here. I'll take out the radioactive ones. They'll get left behind. So I can put away this filter. And I can put away all of these. I'm not carrying the crowbar because I don't need it very often. So this has got all these. And these are just the radioactive ones because they don't work in this thing, I don't think. At least some of them don't. You may wonder, where am I getting those? Well, I've been doing some experiments, and I will show you those, I think, next, because we got this done. And I can pick this up now. And we got the new ore processing done. So now I can actually, I've been saving a lot of these ores down here. Let's just grab some of the more interesting ones. Uranite. We got down here. Don't know that one. Olivine. Calcite. Glauconite. Don't know what that one is. Let's find out. Oh, I accidentally hit the sort. Now I don't know what I've left off. Alright, well, that's fine. These are good enough just to get started. So we'll toss in bauxite, and we'll come down here and get the crushed, and we'll teach you to process crushed, and more will have showed up, so grab it. Alright, now we're going to start getting the purified, so we'll teach you the purified. Grab some more, toss it in, and then the final step, the purified pile of dust, goes in here. And I'll get more. Yep. And toss it in there. Very good. And I'll set up the similar system to do the tinification, detinification. But I'll do that off camera. Now that we figured it out over here, I'll just do the same thing over there. And just for the meanwhile, I'll do these later. Alright, next, let's play with something radioactive. I'll be right back. Alright, radioactive stuff. Let's do this. Upstairs, I've been making some materials. This is going to be a fusion reactor. And I'm going to fly over the patterns here. This is the bottom with helium, liquid helium, lapis, and tin. This is the next level with reactor cells and cryothium coolers and redstone coolers, and the lapis and the helium on the outside. This is the middle level. Note that there's a gap of 2 blocks there, and these 2 spots also on either side of the middle are empty. Oh, and these aren't supposed to be here. That was just there for copying purposes. And then on top of that is this again, and then this on the top. And this reactor, I wanted something I never had to worry about the heat. This cannot overheat. It is impossible in this pack for this to overheat because of the nuclear craft fuels. If you look at my list here and you look at your list is probably larger because I went into the config, turned on hide mode, and all the ones that are oxides I selected and removed. So once they're clicked and turned red, you turn this back to false, and they're gone. Because the first one, I guess I should bring it back again, the lowest level one, TBU oxide fuel, requires thorium-232 oxide, and there's no way to make this. And all the other oxide fuels descend from this one. So by eliminating this ingredient, all of the oxides are gone. So we don't even need to show them. Get rid of them. Makes it easier. So then the one that has the highest heat, I think, is this guy. Of course, it doesn't. Oh, here. 720 heat. Now, the highest oxide is 900 heat, but this is only 720 heat. And this thing can handle that much heat. I think it comes out to right at 0. It handles it perfectly. In future, once I get Enderium, which can only be made after you have acquired Naquita, which I'm getting close to, I can make the 8 Enderium coolers, these guys, that go in the corners. And they remove 120 heat each. So with all those in there, I can probably add a few more reactor cells here in the middle, and then maybe duplicate this lapis and reactor cell on this side and make it run a little faster that way. I haven't balanced out that because I can't make the Enderium yet. But this should work pretty well. So let's set up the reactor. We're going to need a lot. These things, transparent fusion reactor casings. The recipe for these requires glass and a fusion reactor casing. You can make it opaque or clear. Since it just takes a pass through an alloy smelter with glass, I made them clear. Because it might as well. It's more pretty that way. This is a lot of basic plating around a tungsten steel machine casing. That's easy enough. That's tungsten steel. But this is a whole lot of tungsten plate. 4 tungsten plate gets you 2 of these, and it takes 8. So it takes 4 times... It takes a lot of tungsten. I went through a lot of tungsten to make all this. But it should be pretty good. Let's see. I'm starting right here. Yes. 5. 7. That is the right size, isn't it? Or do I have to go in one? No, that's the right size. Alright, fill this in. Guess I should make a wand. Did I make a wand? No. Do I have any more stars? I do. Let's make a wand. Get some sticks. Unbreakable wand. It'll make this a little easy. I'm doing something wrong. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, it's one too long. And then we go around the outside. We leave the corners off. Like so. Now I can use the wand to build it up. And I guess we can start the roof there and we'll finish it later. Actually, we'll run this one over. I don't seem to have enough. I made this too big, didn't I? Yeah, it's 6. It only needs to be 5. I made it too far in this direction. I should have counted. Can I... Almost. Huh? I want that. Wait, I broke a whole bunch. Where'd they go? I'm having network problems again. I forgot to reset the room. I stopped and got dinner. That's what I did. I didn't reset the router. All right, well, it's behaving well enough. We'll keep trying. If it gets bad again, I will go and reset the router. All right, so that I think is the right size. 5 inside by 7. 5 by 7. Yes. All right. So let's build this. Now, one way we can do this is use this guy, the copy paste tool, which I was already using. Hold down the key for it, and we'll do the copy. Come over here, click this one, right-click this. Is it working? Okay, there it goes. Crouch right-click over here. There we go. Now you can see it's outlining the whole thing. Now we switch to paste. And we go inside here and paste. Oh, I don't have enough. I should have. Oh, I forgot the 10. Did I? Don't have any tin. I should have enough for the top and the first floor. 6 redstone. Nowhere near enough helium. I'm missing. Did I put them in the wrong chest? No. Not in here. Oh, I made 2 copies. Didn't even notice. That's where it all went. Alright, there are network problems. Alright, now I'll put one here and one over here. It does have to be a square. I think you can change it by using the settings, but it's a little easier just to do it this way. From U to crouch right-click U. And it's already been copied, so they don't need to be, whether they're there or not, doesn't matter. Now we go to paste. That doesn't seem like it's putting it in the wall. What if I just put block there? Will that work now? And now once it puts it on that block. Alright, well let's put the block there then. There we go. There's the second layer. And now we'll copy this one. Go to copy U to crouch right click U. Nope. Crouch right click U to U. One corner has to be crouch right click, the other has to be right click. So now that that's copied, we can't paste it till we have the materials, and the materials are all right here on the floor, so now I gotta pick this one up. And don't wreck the copy or I'll have to build it from memory. Alright. I guess we're going to have to do the same thing again by putting down a block to stick it on. There it is. Don't forget to take those up. Alright. Next to last one. Oh, gotta go to copy mode. U. to you. Again, we have to pick it up. And paste. Last one. Copy you to you. Got it, got it. Set you to paste. And there's the last layer. Grab the wand again. Seal off the top. There is our reactor. Well, we still need a few more pieces. Got reactor port and a controller. The controller I'll put right there. Reactor port has to be replacing one of these. I'll put it there. Do we have a good one? Casing incomplete. Or does this not go replacing? Does it just stick there? No. What am I missing? A casing. Oh, okay. Yeah. I was thinking, why do I have an extra casing block? Because one goes there. That's it. It's happy now. Negative 12,720 heat. Alright, next. We don't want it to waste fuel if it is full of power, because we're going to connect it to, there's my main line, where is my, there we go, smart cable, or the end steel conduit. That's going to be able to pull power out and connect it to all the stuff downstairs, and if nothing is needing it, it can build up in here, but once it's full, I want it to stop. So, we're going to need a comparator. Got two of them here. Comparator is going to read its level. We're going to output that to a piece of redstone and input it into another comparator, which I'm going to right-click to turn it into subtraction mode. We're going to subtract it from a bookshelf. This is a inspirations bookshelf. And here I've got a trapped book. Recipe for which? Leather, paper, redstone. And the neat thing with this is, whichever slot you put it in, it's going to output a, well, let's grab this piece of redstone here. Power level of 2. Power level of 4. Well, there's a 3 in between. 3. Put it over here, 7 on the end, 8. Down here is 9. And all the way over here is 15. I'm going to put it at 14. So now, whatever this is, 14 minus whatever this is how much power it's going to put out. Which I'm going to then connect up like so. Bop. And you are red as well. And you know it. Or it's input, no output. Excuse me. But no input. Yeah. Doesn't have to be strong. And you're inputting on red. And you're outputting over there. Alright. So what happens is this thing is putting out a power of 14, which I can see just by looking at it, into this. It's subtracting 0, because there's nothing coming in on the side. So if power level of 14 is going in there. As long as power level is anything higher than 0, this thing is going to be running. As the power goes up, the comparator will output more and more redstone signal here. So this 14 will be getting subtracted by 1, subtracted by 2. So the output is going to be slowly going down. When this gets to 14, when this is near full, 15 is full, 14 is near full, then 14 minus 14 is 0, and it turns the reactor off. Pretty simple. I could use a potentiometer, but it requires draconium, which I cannot make yet, I don't think. I think chemical reactor, manulin. Can I make manulin? Cobalt, ardite. Can make ardite. Got cobalt. Maybe I can make manulin. A chemical reactor with dragon's breath. I can make dragon's breath from mobs. 2000 EU per tick. Can I do 2000? Wait, I've got... I can never remember how much power each level puts out. But I do have it on a piece of paper here. There we go. Oh, EV does 2000. Maybe I could do it. This was a whole lot cheaper. That's fine. I might switch it just for looks later, but this works fine. So let's test it out. I think... No, it's in there somewhere. Let's go get a piece of fuel for it. Oh, too far. Alright, let's see. I think I've got some uranium in here. 235. And with those two, I think we can make... We need to do like a high-level one here. Yeah. HEU. Pop it back up. Toss this in. And there it goes. It's making 9,000 RF a tick, which is more than the systems downstairs need. So it is going up. And this is in thousands of RF. So that's... It can hold 11 million RF. And there, it just finished. It's not going down. This thing does not see the power. It says 0 RF. Whereas this one has got RF. That should... That should see the power. That should be another power output. I don't think it needs to be wrenched or anything. It doesn't have any interface. I don't know. It was working before. Must have done something wrong. Anyway, that's produced power. Yeah, I'm not sure why that's not connecting back there. And it's given us depleted fuel. That's going to have to be processed. So let's set up a processing center. This is now empty, which is good because we're going to use it there. And we're going to put one piece of cable here. So I want to take out what's in this guy. We'll take it out on red, put it in U on red, and then output on, sure, white, and get this guy, insert on white. So we put fuel in here, which has got stuff in it. Right now, it'll go into the reactor, and then the depleted fuel will come out and go into this thing. Alright, so let's set up what to do with this fuel. As you can see, I've got a lot of stuff here. Let's leave these behind for the moment. Actually, we'll set that up first. Need those two. I'll put a CEF right there. Fill it with capacitors. There we go. Oh, not that. This. All right. So I don't need those at the moment. So the molecular separator is what we're going to need to be putting this stuff into. And I'm going to put it here. So I'm going to put 2 end steel wires there. That goes there. You know, since I changed things around, I can save the end steel wires. They're slow. Let's dump stuff for a moment. So I'm going to pick you up and put you here instead. with a bit more end steel conduit. Just makes the whole thing a little bit neater, I think. All right. So the molecular separator goes right here. And it is going to get the output from that crate, not you, but you. Let's do it on, sure, light gray. And that'll go in here. And then it's going to output from you into an ME interface, which is going to be connected to a miniature AE system, which I'll now get all the pieces for. All right. So we're going to put down a drive here, an interface there, molecular assembler on top, energy acceptor over here. Okay, that's got the power. I've got a 4K storage cell I'm going to toss inside. Oh no, this I was going to actually put down one level and then have a 1K crafting storage right there. And then we'll put might as well put it here with our crafting terminal. And I do need to dig up a little bit of the floor, because running underneath here is going to be a little bit of cable, because we're going to have one more interface. This I had another interface. Must have put it away. Or I'm doing the wrong design. We'll see. This one I want to mark as going that way. And now I can put the floor back. Yeah, I might have doubled things up a little bit. Yeah, that's fine. This works. Or do I want to? Yeah. Let's save. I did have this up here. So power acceptor. That. You went here. You went there. And this I disconnected. That's right. I remember doing that now. Yeah, now I've got the extra interface. All right, good. All right, that's the setup. And the only thing underground is that 3 pieces of cable to connect this interface to the rest of the system, because it's off to the side. And get rid of these. And put this back. All right, other pieces. I've got some patterns. I've got some stuff. That. Put that away. Put that away. All right, so I have made some patterns. We've got uranium-233 from tiny pieces, uranium-238 from tiny pieces, and a 233 fuel cell. Oh, we can toss this depleted one in here so it's processed. Boom. Now it has stuff, so we need to output that. So we're going to hit it the side there with the wrench and come in here and say push it out. And that pushes it into this interface so it goes into the system. In the system we can, I've got some fuel here. So we come over to this guy, set it up. Oh yeah, and you down are going to insert on orange, and you are going to extract on orange. So whatever it makes here gets put into this chest, which so put you into copy mode and then send you into the system. So I don't need to carry you around, and I don't need to carry these anymore. And I don't need the cable. All right. And that can go back into the tool pouch. All right, good. All right. So here it's ticking away because it's got the fuel that was in the system already. But we want it to craft, so we go over to this guy and make a crafting card. This is the first crafting card I'm using, but I'm not using it on my main system. I'm using it on this subsystem, so it shouldn't cause any problems. Now that should make it try and make more of these. There it goes. They get put into here and sent into the system. So as long as it's got the necessary radioactive materials, either tiny or large, it will craft the fuel, that fuel, and send it into the reactor until, well, at least with the disconnected back there, for some reason with that not working, we can watch this work. So this is up to 9. Only up to 9? That's pretty high up there. 10. I thought it went up to 15. 11. This is still outputting 14. See, we've got plenty of fuel now, so this will run until it stops for sure. 12. All right, we're getting close. Make sure this stops. 13. One more. Should see this light turn off, and this all the text change color when it gets turned off. There. At a little, almost 10,500. That is now 14. So 14 minus 14 is 0, and this has been turned off. It just pauses in the middle of processing, which is sort of nice. Until that gets drained. Maybe I disconnected this and it's not connected to anything down below. Nope, that's connected to the main system. See, that still says 0. That's the weird thing. But it is in the right place. It is considering it a piece of the reactor, but it is not doing its job. Maybe there was something I looked up and knew and then forgot. Let me check. I'll be right back. All right, I think I remember now. I took it out. I haven't tested it yet, but I think this is what it is. Putting it down over here, notice it's got a different texture than this side. Connecting to that won't work. You just looking at the tooltip says there's no RF, even though it's a valid system. But if you put it down like this, aha, oh, disk space almost full. But that's what does it. But you can still connect it to the side. Yep, it's turned back on because power is being drained out. All right, let me take care of the disk and I'll be right back. All right, so yeah, like I said, you have to be facing this way when you place it, or facing into the system when you place it. So you get these little lines facing outward. But then you can attach to any side of it. That's just fine. I must have done that accidentally when I built it the first time and never realized there was a problem. All right, anyway, we're going to be getting back different materials from, you're not going to get all of these. Some of these require reprocessing. So what do you get here? Let's see if I can grab it all real fast. So you got plutonium, plutonium, americium, and plutonium. Now some of these plutoniums we're going to need to make this liquid plutonium, which is used to make stabilized plutonium in a fluid solidifier with a ball mold. And that will be used for the tier 5, the next tier of microminers, to get naquita. So we're really close to naquita. This is the iridium plates. We've got iridium now. We can make the iridium plates. Signalium. Signalum. Got to make the EV. That's going to need another star. I've got those. Tier 4 end steel wire. That's okay. Oh, this is new. Reinforced mining laser with radon. We've got radon. We can make that. These guys are new. They need tier 4. That's fine. Tier 4, platinum, titanium, tungsten, fission controller. The same thing we're running over here, which is tier 4 circuits. Tungsten steel plating. A reactor port, which we were just playing with. And some vibrance, which no problem there. Actually, the prescient is... need a shulker, but you can just make those by making a soul vial and surrounding it with shulker shells by the seashore, which come from our mob farm. So I can make those. Yeah, I see no reason why we can't get Naquita at the beginning of the next episode, because now it's time to wrap this one up. Oh, even though the power is being used, we're making it faster than we're using it. You can tell because it's turning itself on and off. But it is being used because it's turning itself back on again. That's cool. We're making more power than we need. Though this is not a... I wouldn't rely on this for power because it does require radioactive materials, which we have to either buy with coins or I don't know, there may be other sources, but it's not an infinite supply like so many other things, like our current power system. But this could be used to top things off and as a buffer. I think it's just run out of fuel. Yep. So now this is slowly draining. And until we get more fuel into it, which I'm processing downstairs right now, which I think it's probably done. I can go ahead and drop all this into the system up there. And get plenty of the plutonium. Now, if you make more fuel, I can make more patterns for more fuel types using the plutonium and the, americium and americium or americium. I mean, americium. It looks like americium if you were just pronouncing it without any other, I don't know. I can look it up. Don't bother telling me. I can look it up. And then curium and berkelium and neptunium. Where's my neptunium? There's some neptunium. All these you just get as the results of increasingly making other fuels and putting it back in again. I was doing a lot of testing. Which fuels I want to do, and I can add their recipes in here. I don't know. But, yeah, we can get... There's plenty of fuel still in here. I just have to set up the patterns to put it back together again. Like, let's see, the neptunium... This guy... we don't have any of the 236. Oh, we do. We have one 236. So we can make one of these. That's not a sustainable. We can toss that in there. Let's see, these LEUs are making 2,736. This more advanced fuel, it's still chewing on one of these. Let it finish. See if it can be 2,736. No, it's less. It's 1,710. Not as good. But it will give us a different materials to further upcycle. Alright, so we've got a nice fission reactor. We've got a medium-sized microverse, medium micro, and we've got IV ore handling that keeps every single submaterial that they can be produced. Nothing is lost. Very good. I think I'll set up the, yeah, this definitely needs a compactor of its own. So I'll make one of those at this tier and stick it over here. Bauxite. What can I do with bauxite? Make more rutile out of it. Grossular. The rutile I can put in the system.
So bauxite can go over here. No. Where does it get used? Electrolyzer. 60. Should work. Oh, it is working. I was just delayed. Or needed a lot. I didn't check. And my root tile. Good, because I'm out of root tile. Put that in there. Alright. Until next time, this is Nonsanity signing out. Take care. Be good. And see you next time.